Each of those arguments need to have a reason, and they each need to have an example. And it's important that you use that time wisely. 3 minutes, it's not much, but it will aid you later on by being organized and prepared. Remember that when you are writing, you need to write it out, you need to manage your time, and you need to review. So what does the word review mean? It means to check for expression, spelling, and grammar. So by that, it's really important that you ask yourself 3 questions. So when you're looking up at the work that you've written down, you ask yourself, does it make sense? Does it sound right? And does it look right? If it doesn't, then it's important that you then go back over your work and you look at that and you make sure it makes sense, sounds right, and looks right. So remember, so far, when you're writing and you're organizing yourself for a selective test, there's 3 steps in the process. Step 1, to plan. Plan your time. Manage your time. Remember that you are not brainstorming. Brainstorming is completely different. If you brainstorm, it is when you are thinking about everything, all the different possible answers that you can have. This is a waste of time when you are doing a selective test. You do not have time to do this. You need to plan. Okay, so planning, we've got the introduction, the arguments, so the reasons and examples. The second step, so after our planning, we've got writing. So it's really important that you are writing. You know, allow maybe 14 minutes approximately for writing if you've got 20 minutes. So you've got 3 minutes for planning, another 14 minutes, and then you've got a few minutes at the end to review. Remember what we said for review, check for expression, spelling, and grammar. Ask yourself, does it make sense when you're reading over it? Does it sound right? Does it look right? Now, before we move on, I want to know who has been listening and who can tell us how many steps are in the process. Fantastic to see some people already writing it down. How many steps? I can see somebody who's already written down 3 steps. Excellent. Okay, so what are those 3 steps? So if you've already written down that there are 3 steps, what are they? Excellent. I can see planning. I can see planning, writing, and I can see a review. That's fantastic. We're just writing down now and seeing who's got that recorded. Well done, boys and girls. Excellent. Lots of people there participating. Excellent. So we might move on. So what we're going to start off with is looking at techniques that help you with your persuasive writing. So techniques are really important. So I know that you've all done NAPLAN before, and I know you all know what a persuasive text is, so I won't go into too much detail as you'll be sitting the selective skill test. So the first thing you need to remember is what the purpose is. Why are you writing something persuasive? Why are you doing it? The purpose is that you are trying to convince the reader to act or think in a certain way. You are trying to persuade them into your belief, into believing how you believe, into thinking your same train of thought. Now, this is exactly what we'll be focusing on next term if you are attending pre-uni classes. So next term, we will be focusing on persuasive writing for the entire term. We'll be looking at the structure, and we'll be looking at breaking it down into further components and techniques, which we are briefly looking at tonight. So if you are not already registered for pre-uni for next term and you'd like to, by all means, use this opportunity tonight to also send Sarika an email to get further details. Okay, so moving on, there are 4 things that you must do when preparing to write persuasively. Okay, so it's important that you consider your audience. Who are you writing to? Who are you trying to persuade? Are you persuading adults? Are you persuading your friends? Are you persuading your teachers? You know, what are you writing about? Maybe you think the school canteen should be open every single day of the school week. Therefore, who is your audience? Who are you aiming towards? Who are you trying to convince to change their trade of thinking? You need to think about the pros and the cons of the topic. Take a position and gather evidence to support your position. Evidence is crucial, and we'll look at this in more detail shortly. Okay, so what I want to look at now is the next slide. So on our next slide, we're looking at your task when you are writing persuasively, and your task is to convince the reader. So focus on your points, evidence, and your language. Again, looking at language is something we're going to be looking at in a lot more detail next term at pre-uni, looking at challenging words, looking at persuasive words, words that are going to convince the person that you are trying to persuade into agreeing with your trade of thinking or your thoughts. Okay? Take a firm stand on what you believe in. Take a firm stand on the debate and don't waffle on. Don't go on and on and on. Okay? It's important that you get to the point. Be passionate. Make it personal. Relate it to your own life experiences. People love it when you relate it to life experiences. Okay? It gets them involved more. Okay? There are so many debates that you can think of, and I can think of right now. So if we think of something that we're all familiar with, okay, recently there's been a debate on the news over all the media, and it's involved Coles and Woolworths. Okay? All plastic bags should be banned. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why? What are your reasons? So thinking again about our structure. Okay, starting off with our introduction, thinking about 3 arguments for whether or not you agree or whether or not you disagree. Remember that when you are writing it out, you are including your reasons, the second letter, the R, reasons. Okay, do you think that they should be banned because of the environment? Okay, give examples of why then. What would happen? Okay, do they kill animals? So thinking about your reasons. Another one could be all children should wear a school uniform. Why? So relate it to yourself. I know myself, I was the eldest of 6 growing up, and I know that if we didn't have a school uniform, it would have taken my mum a lot longer every single morning for us to get up. So I could write about how it saves time. I wouldn't have had to, having a uniform, I didn't have to worry about what to wear every single day to school. Mum didn't have to worry about having certain clothes ready. So moving on to language that persuades. Now, this is really important. Now, again, we will be looking at this in more detail next term. So just briefly, it's really important that you choose forceful language that tells the reader what to do. Okay, forceful language. I'm going to give you a few examples. We must act now. Consider the importance of. It is imperative that we get rid of plastic bags, or we don't get rid of plastic bags, depending on how you're thinking. So when you are writing persuasively, it's important to have certain writing techniques. Now, a writing technique is something that will assist you with your writing further. Now, we're going to look at 4 of these in a little bit more detail. We're going to look at emotive language, groups of 3, rhetorical questions, and facts and statistics. So what I want you to do now is sit back, maybe have a drink or something, and listen to the following paragraph and ask yourself if it is persuasive. Being healthy is important. The 2+1 diet is found in our range of menus. Eat 2 types of vegetables every day and walk 1 kilometre. It's a good method. Order now. Okay, if you think it's persuasive, could you now write on the computer, yes? If you think that was not persuasive, could you write no? Great, fantastic to see so many people responding so fast. Excellent, moving on. Okay, so we know, and from what I'm seeing on the computer, that was not persuasive. It was not persuasive. It did not convince me at all about being healthy. Okay, so therefore, what do I need to include to be healthy? What do I need to include in my writing to assist me further? First one, emotive language. Now, emotive language, I could talk about for hours and hours and hours, but we don't have that time. It's Friday night. I know you've got other things to do, so I'll be brief. So it's really important that when you use words, you make the reader feel a strong emotion. Okay, the positive words, the negative words, they draw on our emotions. Here are 5 popular emotive words. We've got you, because, love, proven, and easy. So I'm going to look at these words now and I'm going to incorporate them in the same writing task that you heard previously. So previously you heard it, it was not persuasive. I want you to tell me now, after you've heard this next one, if including these emotive words, it aids or if it doesn't. And by aids, whether or not it assists it, whether or not it enhances the written work. The secret to staying healthy is easy. The all-new 2+1 diet is the most popular choice found in our exciting range of menus. All you have to do is eat 2 types of vegetables every day and walk 1 kilometre. You will love how simple and easy this proven method is. So order now because you are worth it. Now, automatically, that is more persuasive than the previous one. That automatically has used the very first technique we are speaking about tonight, emotive language. Remember, there are 4 techniques, and at the end, I'm going to be testing you on them, what they are. That was the first technique, emotive language. The next one I want to look at is something that sometimes gets pushed aside. People forget to use this, but it's a really important technique in our writing, and it's called groups of 3. Now, when you are trying to persuade someone, using groups of 3 words is an easy and proven persuasive technique. Now, we've got some examples that you can see on the slide in front of you. I won't read through all of them, but if we look at the first one, we've got a list of adjectives. We've got simple, quick and easy, bold, bright and beautiful. So using a group of 3 words to describe something, to include it in your persuasive when you are trying to persuade somebody to do something, is going to make it even more persuasive. You know, you think of the ads on TV, you think of McDonald's. How are they trying to persuade you at the moment to go to McDonald's? Are they trying to persuade you by, you know, enticing you into going and getting a prize for the Monopoly game? Are you more likely to go back again and again because you might only need Bond Street now, or you might only need Regent Street, or you might only need something in particular? I think you are. I know that my husband is. Okay, so we're going to use this now in a paragraph. So remember, this is the second of the 4 techniques. The secret to staying healthy is simple, quick, and easy. Our all-new 2+1 diet is the most popular choice found in our affordable, extensive, and exciting range of menus. All you have to do is eat 2 types of vegetables every day and walk, jog, or run 1 kilometre. You will love this proven method, so order now because you are worth it. Already, our persuasive writing task has changed from not impressive to getting there. They're 50% halfway there. That might sound hard, but they've only used 2 of the 4 techniques that we've spoken about. Okay, I love it how they've said walk, jog, or run. Okay, so that's 3 words, 3 group of 3. So it's an example in the paragraph. The third point are the rhetorical questions. What is a rhetorical question? Does anyone know? Just looking to see who actually knows what a rhetorical question is. Great to see so many people writing on here and sharing their thoughts about different things that we're talking about. Great. Moving on. So a persuasive question is another simple and proven technique. It's a popular technique that's used when trying to persuade someone. Okay, so you're trying to persuade someone. A rhetorical question is a question that you ask in order to make a point. You're not actually expecting an answer. Okay, so how would you feel if your house burnt down? You're not expecting a response. You're simply just saying it. So have a look now with the rhetorical question incorporated as well. So this is our third technique. We've spoken about our first 2, so this is our third one. What's the secret to staying healthy? The answer is our simple, quick, and easy new 2+1 diet. It's definitely the most popular choice found in our affordable, extensive, and exciting range of menus. All you have to do is eat 2 types of vegetables every day and walk, jog, or run 1 kilometre. You will love this proven method. So what are you waiting for? Order now because you are worth it. And the final technique that I want to briefly look at with you tonight is known as facts. Facts and statistics. Okay, now this is a really important one. So this technique that we will be learning about is for you to use to try and convince the reader to agree with you. Why not try it? So I've just got a couple of examples here that I'm going to quickly read to you now before moving on to including it in our paragraph. Australia is now officially the fattest nation in the world. 1 in every 4 teenagers in Australia are overweight. So have a listen now as I include it into the paragraph. What's the secret to staying healthy? Over 1.5 million customers agree that it is Harry's new, quick and easy 2+1 diet. It's definitely the most popular choice found in our affordable, extensive and exciting range of menus. All you have to do is eat 2 types of vegetables every day and walk, jog or run 1 kilometre. Half an hour of your time each day can add up to 10 years to your life. You will love this proven method. So what are you waiting for? Order now because you are worth it. Can you see that we've included 4 techniques? Now, if you think back to the very first persuasive one that I read to you, it was not very persuasive at all. Okay? Being healthy is important. The 2+1 diet is found in our range of menus. Eat 2 types of vegetables every day and walk 1 kilometre. It's a good method. Order now. That was not persuasive, and yet that is what we see again and again submitted by students. We don't want to see that. You need to include the 4 techniques that we spoke about tonight to make it more persuasive, to persuade the writer to agree with you, the marker to agree with you, your teacher to agree with you, whoever is reading it to agree with you. Okay, who can tell me now what those 4 techniques are that we spoke about? Fantastic to see some people writing it down. Excellent. Remembering, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes now to write down what those 4 techniques are. I can see lots of people writing emotive language. Excellent. Groups of 3. Well done, Gordon Mia. I do apologise if I have pronounced it wrong. My eyesight's not the best looking at the slide. Fantastic. There are so many people that have remembered. So there are 4 techniques. So if there are 2 things that you have taken away from tonight so far, it's really important that you remember there are 4 techniques to include in your persuasive writing. Emotive language, groups of 3, rhetorical questions, facts and statistics. The second important thing that you need to remember is you only have 20 minutes to write. 20 minutes, it's not long. Remember to plan it. Remember to write and remember to review. Remember, you do not brainstorm. Okay, now what I want to move on to and look at now with you is the free resource. Okay, now the free resource that you're going to have access to in a moment is if you click on the blue button that should be showing up on your screen and it says download. Now, when you click on this blue button that says download, you will get access to a free resource. The resource that you will get access to outlines the structure that we have been speaking about for how to write a persuasive writing text. Okay, now this particular, just waiting on a few more people to download it. Okay, great. I can see people are downloading it now. Excellent. Okay, so what this outlines for you is quite clearly the Oreo method that we have not spoken about in as much detail as we would have loved to have. Okay, now the Oreo detail, as I said, stands for opinion. It stands for reasons, examples, and an opinion at the end. Now, it's got plenty of lines. It's a great opportunity to take it away and to practice writing it. Okay, so it's got the breakdown of the structure. Remember that you are starting it off, you're giving your opinion. You know, do you agree with the topic? Do you disagree with the topic? Then your reasons. Okay, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel plastic bags should be banned? Why do you feel they shouldn't be banned? Why do you feel the school canteen should be open every day of the week? Why do you think it shouldn't be open every day of the week? Give your reasons. Think of 3 reasons. Then give examples to back them up. And then your opinion at the end. Now remember that when you are giving your reasons to include those 4 techniques that we have spoken about tonight, okay, they are important. If you don't include those techniques, then you are not writing a persuasive enough written task to convince me. Remember that you are doing this test to get into selective school, okay? So in the classroom, you know, some students will hand in things and it might not include these techniques, and you might be able to get a really good mark in class, but you are trying out for selective. So it's the next step above, okay? So you want to show why you deserve to get in as opposed to the other student that is competing beside you. So it's really important that you include those techniques. Now, before I finish off, I'd like to take this time to thank all of you for joining in with us tonight. We really appreciate you taking time out of your Friday night to join us, and we really hope that you got something out of tonight and you found it interesting. If you're not registered for pre-uni for next term and you would like to, you're more than welcome to contact Sarika, and she'll give you further information about it. Now, before I finish off, you might be wondering, well, hang on a sec, what are the actual benefits of Writing Club? Why should I join it? Why should I waste my money that I go to work for my child to go to Writing Club? Why aren't they learning it at school? Okay, well, this is a really interesting question that some people might ask. And we've got written up quite a few different techniques and different reasons for why your child should join Writing Club. Okay, now Sarika is going to go through that in a bit more detail, including our special offer that's going out to you tonight.
Thanks, Diane, and thanks everyone for joining us tonight. I can see everyone is there. Initially, we had some issues with starting. There were some technical issues and people couldn't hear. I could still see 1 or 2 people were still saying that. Some of them did ask that when are we going to do narrative. So we did narrative 2 weeks back, and a lot of people did enroll for our courses as well. Some of you were asking that where do I go? What's the location? So just to give you an idea, Writing Club is an online platform. You don't need to go anywhere. You can subscribe. There are videos your child can watch. And if parents are interested in knowing what is expected and what is my child learning, they can watch with their child. After that, there are some graded quizzes which child answers, and that tells you and tells us as well how much they are learning. And then after that, there are some assignments, as writing cannot be improved until your child is actually writing. So we assign a trained teacher who's an expert marker as well. So your child will be submitting those assignments to us via email, and we provide feedback. As you are aware that NAPLAN is going online as well. So in year 5, the writing is basically a typing test. So in this way, if you are doing these tests online, you're basically following the same format as well. I hope everyone enjoyed today's webinar. We've got exciting series of webinars planned up. We will keep you posted about our next topic and next webinar date. I have a feeling it'll be after school holidays. But this one, we will send you a link of replay. It will be available for some time. Some of you did ask that last time we did offer 5% off on our course and they could not avail. We are making that link active again for 2 days, so feel free to use that link. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed and you found it informative. Please do share your feedback with us as well. Thank you so much and have a lovely weekend.